So, good evening to everyone, and thank you again for making the time for being on the call. This evening is part two, or the second segment of what we present on Sunday evening, our health and wellness webinar. And this is the follow on from it, where we are talking about what Superpatch offers the world in terms of their um, opportunity, and which we're going to get into that. And Superpatch's tagline is unlocking human potential through unrivaled technology. And the way they're doing that is with the most profound discovery that has been made in human wellness to date. I really flag that because when you understand how this technology really works, it really is the most profound discovery in human wellness it is so natural that it is more natural than anything that calls itself natural out there in the industry. And so we're going to be talking about Superpatch Blue Ocean Business for Entrepreneurs. And it's important that we recognize that it really is for entrepreneurs because it's a business. And we are indeed presenting a new paradigm in health, wellness, and performance. Jay Dhaliwal, his vision is to build something generational that will transform the world. And the importance of that is that when you have put on sufficient mileage with the company and the way how he has built the infrastructure and the very framework and the systems into his company is to ensure that it will be generational, something that will outlast him. And so what we have in our hands is something that we can build and leave a legacy with as well. So we're going to get into what Superpatch offers as a blue ocean business. And many people, it comes up from time to time where people are asking about if it's Superpatch has changed its name and because they're not familiar with the term blue ocean. Blue ocean really refers to a strategy of business that became popularized in the early 2000s. And it really speaks about two different strategies that they have in business. One is red ocean, one is blue ocean. And what we are commonly familiar with is the red ocean space, where businesses are competing for market space, for market share, where there is competition, price wars, where commodities and peoples are exploited for demand, where the value cost trade-off is always high. If I have something that's better, my price is higher. If I have something that is more rare, the price is always higher. And it's always a fight to win the attention and the loyalty of the customers that you're fighting to get, hence the red ocean. The blue ocean strategy is where a company comes up with a concept or a way of doing business that has no competition at all. And so it's not entering the market to compete with that space. It is creating an uncontested market space, something that never existed before. And so competition is irrelevant. They're not into competition. And it creates and captures new demand, and it breaks that value cost trade-off where cost is normally high when something is rare. It breaks that and not necessarily conforms to the same values. And rather than fight and for the attention and the loyalty of customers, because there is no competition, it's about transforming customers and interacting with customers very differently. Superpatch in the direct selling industry and in the wellness industry stands apart. We are a blue ocean business because what Superpatch has brought to the world is the only one of its kind. It's creating a brand new space. It is introducing a new era, paradigm, and approach to how wellness and health is achieved. And so our growth is not driven, it is driven by vision, and it's not driven by competing with others for market share. You'll hear the CEO say that We are one of one, and that's what he's speaking of. So our success is driven by being exclusive and not by having to prove ourselves to be better than another, because we are the only one in this space that has been created. And so we are creating and capturing new demand by overcoming the downsides by the current solutions that's offered in the wellness industry. We know that in the medical system, there's a lot of side effects, there's a lot of downsides when it comes to the healthcare solutions, and the challenges that go along with the healthcare solutions that are being offered today. Superpatch, because of our technology and the way we approach it, it's overcoming that. And so we're creating a new demand and capturing new markets or new demand because of that. We also rethink value in that although we have something that is unique, it's one of a kind, it's rare, it is still not high priced. It's actually very affordably priced, and that's across the globe where Superpatch operates. And so rather than fight for the attention and loyalty of customers, we are more into the empowerment of our customer base because we are addressing unmet needs in ways that no one else is doing. Everything that defines a blue ocean business and a blue ocean strategy is everything that Superpatch is presenting. This is important now because we have a platform and it gives us an advantage that when we go to build our businesses, we have the room for growth. We have the room for momentum because we don't have others alongside of us inside of a race. And so it's a lot more comfortable to be able to build our businesses without some of those pressures of the competing arena of the red ocean markets. As in the direct selling industry, we are a network marketing company or a multi-level marketing company. Superpatch, Jay coins the company as a wellness technology company, but the industry or the space that we're operating in is the direct selling industry where we know it as network marketing or multi-level marketing. Many people have a negative taste in their mouths about it. When people ask if this is the type of company it is, sometimes we tend to want to shy away from it because we feel it is something low about it, when the opposite is actually true. It is the most efficient distribution system that they have in the world. It's the most effective way to bring products to market. It's the fastest way to do it as well. And so one of the things that people try to compare it with, and people would say, oh, it's one of those pyramid schemes. We are not a pyramid scheme. That's an illegal system. The network marketing industry is regulated under the legal and ethical guidelines of the Federal Trade Commission and the Direct Selling Association. And so we're a bona fide business. And in pyramid schemes, it's a hierarchy system. This is not. Because in this system, no one is kept down by people who are above them. In fact, this is what we operate more like a living ecosystem. And an ecosystem is where components, whether it be people, plants, animals, organic life comes together, and they all are mutually supportive, where everybody's growth and success is interdependent on everyone else. Now, that type of a model, which is based on relationships and integration and collaboration and unity, it is one of the most powerful systems of development for growth and for success that you could find anywhere on the planet. And that's what our business is built on, that model. And so every connection within the network, it brings life to the whole. In this type of business, when it's done correctly, when it's built with the right values and principles, no one stands above the other. We all stand together. We all have shared purpose. We all have shared vision. We have collective strength. In this system, it is designed in such a way that everyone is supposed to be able to make it. Now, people who have had history in network marketing over the years says, that's not been my experience. And lots of people say to me, that's not the way, that hasn't been my experience. And that's because it just simply wasn't built on the correct principles. And that's a discussion for another time, but that's all built in to the way we in Superpatch build our businesses rather than hierarchy. You see some of the comparisons there. We don't get in, we're not into driving it from a blue ocean or red ocean mindset. We have more of a blue ocean mindset, which is a very different culture of how we work interconnectedly in order to help each other to succeed. And we have systems, we have strategies, we have tools, we have resources, we have protocols, we have principles, we have values of how this is done to ensure that once it's applied correctly, we all can make it. And so don't feel in any way that because you're in the network marketing industry, be proud, be bold about it, because it's going to be the business of the future. Superpatch, they are relatively new. We're into our third year, launched in 2023 in North America. Right out of the gate, they moved very quickly. 60 million in revenue in the first year, over 100 million in the second year. In our third year, we are on target to double that, go beyond the doubling of that. We're operating in more than 30 countries. We have offices in North America and in Europe, with distribution centers, again, in North America and in Europe. Well, we've opened in Switzerland recently. We're opening in Mexico in August, Turkey and Colombia shortly thereafter. And our patches, I think it's a big plus to know that some of the major sports leagues, like the NFL and the NBA here in North America and those in Canada, and even others around the world, are embracing the technology at that level of athletic performance. And to be able to do that speaks loud volumes, because you cannot get into that arena at that level unless it has been properly vetted by the authorities. And so Superpatch, over the 15 years, the work has been done, the research and the development has been done, everything has been put in place, it's FDA registered, the world has been ready, and from the time they launched, they took off, and it's only picking up more speed, more steam. And so you're in the right place, you're at the right time. To date, Superpatch has developed 14 different technologies that addresses the most common needs in health, wellness, and performance. There's no question as to if they work. They work well, they work consistently. They have a 95% efficacy rate. There's nothing that's ever produced that is 100%, but there are very few things that have 95%. That is what we have. They're safe, they're natural, they're non-invasive. There's nothing on the planet that works like it, uses its mechanism of action, and it is absolutely safe, non-invasive, without any contraindications at all. What Superpatch have right now in research and development is way more mind-blowing than the wonderful patches that we already have. They're going to be introducing in the very near future other technologies that are so far advanced of the healthcare system that if you think the company is growing fast now, when some of those technologies are released, we're going to see such a curve in growth of what will happen, because while these are addressing some of the common needs that we see in society, those are going to take it to another level altogether. Just a quick reminder, this is a 1.5-minute video of how the technology works. And I want to emphasize, when you listen to it, understand it's talking about physical, emotional, and psychological wellness. This is not like a supplement or a medicine that's addressing physical symptoms and deficiencies alone. This technology has far-reaching implications to human well-being. So let's just look at this. It's about 1 minute and 40 seconds, just as a reminder of how the technology works.
We are not a traditional cafe. We're completely unconventional. And my Wix website really has to capture the same magic.
Superpatch is the most advanced wearable technology in the market, with 15 plus years of research and development. Superpatches are 100% drug-free, non-invasive, and backed by science. Our skin absorbs and transmits information from many different types of stimulation. Every physical, emotional, and psychological function has a corresponding neural code or message in our brain that controls and regulates it. Due to factors such as injury, stress, genetics, etc., these neural codes can get disrupted, leading to poor health, wellness, and performance. At Superpatch, we've decoded these neural messages that manage the neural control of physical, emotional, and psychological functions. Every single Superpatch has a unique pattern of ridges in it, similar to a QR code. When these ridges come in contact with our skin, the receptors in and around our skin send a message to our brain which then decodes it. This intricate pattern of ridges is known as vibrotactile technology, or VTT for short. When the patch stimulates the skin receptors, it generates and sends a very complex signal to our brain to correct the specific neural codes that may be disrupted. The effects are almost immediate. So you focus less on overcoming wellness and quality of life challenges and more on living a happier and healthier life. Whether it's improving your sleep, enhancing your sports performance, or unlocking other life-enhancing benefits, Superpatch has you covered. Try Superpatch today and start your health and wellness journey. www.superpatch.com.
Well, along with the research and the development team, Superpatch has a scientific advisory board that supports not just the research and development, but they support us in the field in terms of compliance, efficacy, and making sure that everything is compliant in every area, that we can be confident that what we are representing is something that is legitimate, something that is proven, something that is tested, and something that can stand the test of time across the globe. So we have really the best and the safest self-care solutions that's available in a very high demand industry. And the needs are so great. And one of these principles of success, they say if you find a need and you can fill that need, then you have a good recipe that you can build a business on. And we provide solutions that meet the greatest needs in human well-being with a revolutionary wearable technology that is leading the way into a brand new era of drug-free wellness. People are going to get used to that term, drug-free health, wellness, and performance. And we are grounded in adding values to people's lives holistically, not just physically. The current variety of patches speaks to a $500 billion market. And we have that type of reach because the various patches that we have, each one can be a niche market all by itself. And each one, they are, whether it be sleep, whether it be immunity, whether it be pain, whether it be, dealing with stress, all the various patches we have, each one speaks to a market of billions of people. And so put it together, we have a $500 billion market that we can tap, and it's only going to expand as time goes by. We have market advantages, which the company has set in place to ensure that our businesses are protected and that we have a strong platform to build on. If you can just mute your mics, please. The foundation that we have that we can stand on solidly is that. Could you mute your mics, please? Could you mute your mics, please? Thank you. Our foundation of what we can stand on is our VTT technology. Not just that it's peer-reviewed and published science, but it's not third-party. Superpatch does its own research and development. They have their hands on that and not necessarily depending on third-party as the case with many. Our technology is indeed an industry disruptor. It is in the category of when the cell phone was introduced, people thought it was just a novelty thing. Now today, no one can do without their cell phones. When the internet was introduced to the world, people thought that it was just going to be selected areas of business. It was not a big deal. Now the world can't function without the internet. So when the light bulb was introduced, it took more than a generation for people to culturally adopt that technology then, because it was being compared to other sources of lighting, which was just open flames. And it took a while. So, but what we have is something that today we can't do without the light bulbs. What we have is of that category. When we talk about drug-free wellness, the industry today only knows that. So when you come with something that is counter to that, that you're telling me that you can actually get the human body to enhance, improve, and upregulate its function in ways far safer and far greater than pharmaceutical drugs can without introducing ingredients into the body? Absolutely. And it's because of how the human being is designed and built. That divine design has everything inside of it. And Superpatch is tapping into that matrix, which is why I say it's the most profound discovery that has been made so far in human wellness. Our intellectual property is globally protected in 186 countries. It cannot be made, manufactured, copied anywhere across the globe. There are no white labels to it. The company does not license it out. It does not give out the technology to be rebranded. There are no competitive products at all. And so right across the globe, there's access through our distribution centers, both North America and Europe, where it's accessible, and it's exclusive, drug-free wellness. Products that work. We have many, many thousands of testimonies in different languages online that you can find. And there are very few things, if any, where you can demonstrate the efficacy of something that will enhance your physiology in a matter of just seconds, and it can be demonstrated. We have that with how our patches work. And so one of the big things about it, when you have something this unique and this that's an industry disruptor, yet it is so accessibly priced, that in itself is a hallmark of a blue ocean business. But what Superpatch is creating is a framework for us and a platform that we can now build a generational business where we can leave legacies and inheritances, because that's the quality of the business that we have. And so we're looking at infrastructure of stability and infrastructure of long-term security that we can build on. Superpatch has a CapEx global mass media advertising program that's unique as well in the direct selling industry, because companies in this industry, and they have thousands of them, they normally market through their associates, through their affiliates in the field, and their products are usually high priced. Superpatch, apart from low pricing, Superpatch is they have embarked on a global mass media using print media, digital media, and that digital is not just online, and using the social media platforms, television, radio, and other means of how they're bringing the market, bringing their technology to the world. And they've set it into a program where we, the associates, get to benefit monetarily from that. You learn more about that program as you come on board. And so very unique infrastructure that the company has built for us to build our businesses. It's a very unique and dynamic economic model, and it has two independent but interconnected systems, and both systems are globally scalable. That's something to take note of, because if you're going to build something that is going to be financially secure, you need to be thinking scalable on a global level, because you need to be able to maintain the security of it and the stability of it, that if one economy is down, or the economy of your country is down, it doesn't necessarily affect it because your income comes from is globally revenued. And so that's something that's very unique. But you have one business, it is your business. We don't work for Superpatch. We are independent associates that we become like conduits to fulfill the mission of bringing this technology to the world through our own but interconnected businesses. And so the way how they have designed it, it is that it is for us to have sustainable growth and security financially. The first of the two interconnected platforms or systems is the affiliate marketing platform, where you have your own personal corporate website. And it has everything you need, all the metrics, all the systems, and all that is necessary for you to run, manage, and build a globally scalable business. All your product information, all the neuroscientific studies, secure payment systems, accounting systems, tracking organizational performance, all that you need for marketing, training, growth, platform maintenance, all of these things we have built in to a complete suite of management tools. And the company takes care of all the back end. So if we understand business, those who are truly entrepreneurial minded, or those who have experience, know that to have an online business of where you don't have to be concerned about the marketing, about the shipping and the handling, about customer services, about dealing with the logistics of supply chain back and forth. The company takes care of all that. And to know that 80% of global brands are marketed through affiliate marketing platforms, and we have a very professional platform that's given to us, we can reach large audiences of people using the platforms that's available to us online, and people are doing really, really well with this. This is $1 million business or a multi-million dollar business all by itself right here. This is how a lot of the young entrepreneurs are making their millions, is through online businesses, which is where things are going more and more as we progress into the technological future. And so we have that, and with the various patches that we have, we could even target various niche markets. And so we just have to get used to the digital tools that are available and how we can use them in being able to take advantage of this online platform that we have. And online business is a rapidly growing sector, because when you share information online and you become skilled at doing that, someone purchases anything from your website and they experience it. What people are doing is that people are into sharing stuff all the time online. They share what has happened, they share their experience, and that creates an organic movement that helps your business to start to build. Now, for this, there's a one-time membership cost of just $40. In this industry, there is no company that will give you access to a technology like this, a facility like this, for something like a one-time fee of $40. And it's going to maintain it is an annual fee of $25. And you now have access to wholesale pricing. So the very first thing that you do when you come on board and you register and you get your platform, the first thing that you must do is you need to experience the technology for yourself if you haven't done that. And the simplest and the easiest way to do it is what we call in our team the Flex 4 Starter Pack, where you can get 4 of the technologies for the price of 3. So you get one of them free. And it's just the cost of $175. All the money that we're talking about tonight are in US currency. That $175 includes that one-time fee of the $40. But to get 4 of these technologies for $135 is just amazing because in most companies in the wellness industry, in this direct selling industry, you're lucky if you get one product for that price. But we're going to get four amazing technologies. I suggest these three here because they are the base platform that really covers a comprehensive way of mind-body balance and enhancing our our physiological functions on multiple levels. But it doesn't have to be this, it could be any four technologies. But you can see from this, it's a very simple way of how you can get started. That the second arm of it, apart from the affiliate platform, is building teams of common unity, which is communities all over the world of that we are all unified, connected in a unified manner. And so it doesn't matter, there's no borders to this. This can be people all over the world, but we are connected in a common way. And you are here because somebody shared it with you. I am here because somebody shared it with me. And we share it with people who appreciate the value of the technology, recognize the need for it. And because let's face it, we all can do with more money. And it's not easy to have a second job or to do it through trading time for money. But this method of business is beyond trading time for money. And it's a very unique economic model that's built on collaboration, and you'll get a better sense of how that works. But the earning potential of it is literally uncapped. And the residual income that we get from it and the passive income that we get from it, there is hardly a business that you can have, and there is no job that you can have that will pay you the type of income that this can give you in a relatively short period of time in comparison to a regular brick and mortar business. When we speak in financial security and stability, you have to look outside of a job or a regular brick and mortar in the world that we live in today. And you need to be able to own, not just be a consumer of and trade in time for money. You need to be able to own assets, whatever those assets may be, but assets that will take what you have and multiply it for you. And so this business is built on the concept that the very wealthy use to build their wealth and sustain their financial futures. This is built on a very same concept, and you'll understand that in a minute. But this is the second arm of it, and they're both interconnected because you can build your teams using your online platform all over this world. And it doesn't matter what country they're in, they still stay connected in a system that is seamless. And so we have the opportunity to impact people's lives in a very positive way, and to build the business is very simple. It's as simple as you wearing the technology, experiencing its life-changing benefits. And one thing will happen organically is that you're going to want to share the experience with others. And with the balance and stability demonstration that we have, when you do that, let me tell you, it really blows people's mind that you can get that type of an effect in a matter of seconds. And so just by sharing our experiences and doing the balance and stability demo, we are sharing hope. We are inspiring confidence in people and letting people see what is possible out there in a very safe and effective way. And people are looking right now more than ever before, especially since COVID. People are now looking for solutions that are free from side effects and free from the downsides. And that is what we have to offer the world as well. And so we can now make a very meaningful difference in the lives of people with a wide range of applications of the patches that we have that meet most of the common needs that people have today. And so we have all that we need to create a very lucrative, home-based and online and a socially driven income without any competition at all. And so that's the nature of our business. That's the nature of your business. It's an opportunity to foster building better relationships and communities. This is important in today's world because it's never been more needed than now, where people can come together for a common good and a common cause, not just for building financial security, but building communities of collaboration where we foster better relationships, relationships is the thread that runs through, is what this business is built on. And the better we can become at that, is the more successful we will become in our businesses. How the company pays us as we build our businesses, there are more than 10 streams of income we can tap into. We're not going to get into all of that today. They also give us their other bonuses, rewards, and incentives. That's always happening month over month. There's always something extra besides the income that we earn that the company is always doing. The company is heavily invested into training and development for its leaders because they understand the importance of that. We're going to just talk about the ones across the top. Right now, the retail commissions, which you get paid weekly. These retail commissions are the ones that come off of your online platform. Anybody anywhere in the world goes to your website and makes any purchases, you're paid 25% commission of that sale, which is a very handsome. And that's why there's Super Patch Associates that's building really nice and very big businesses, in fact, just online, those who know the ins and outs of using the online platform. But that's your retail commission. That's separate and apart from building, when you're building your teams, which pertains to these other bonuses across the top we're going to talk about. I have the fast start bonuses highlighted because this is unique in the sense that it only pertains to the first 60 days of your business. There's the hat trick and the all-star bonus. And after the 60 days, these go away. Everything else remains as a monthly income. We have a driver bonus, enrollment bonuses, and level bonuses. And we're just going to talk about that just to show you the concept of how it works and the potential of what we have our hands on. It's important to know, and this is perhaps one of the very critical things that we have to get our minds around, is that the very concept and the model and the structure is built on compound growth. Therefore, the earnings is compounded earnings. I could not stress this more than I am stressing it now, that when it comes to building financial security or building wealth, period, the most efficient wealth building strategy that exists today is compound growth. There are a lot of people, I would perhaps say most people do not know this experience. Unless you've been investing in financial instruments that have compounded growth to it, or unless you've been involved with any type of income generating model that's built on compound growth, most people that live on this planet don't know this experience. This is maybe 3% of people that don't, and I'm highlighting this because this is what this business is built on. So to get a feel for it, to be able to engage this, it really requires developing a wealth mindset, because most people do not have wealth mindsets because we are not taught. We don't have the financial literacy because it's not taught to us in school. It's not even taught to us in the home where it should really come from. We don't really get that either. And so, but it's something that is built into our model as well. But compound growth, these are some points that you need to be just aware of. It's how small, consistent sums multiply into significant amounts over time. Remember this. Earnings generate earnings, creating a cycle of expansion. The growth is exponential, not linear. And you'll understand that in a second. The more it grows, the more time accelerates it. This is how compound growth happens. Once it's in motion, it requires the less effort to keep it growing. Quite the opposite to trading time for money in a job. Now, it was Albert Einstein who said that compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. And many of us, we live broke because of this compound interest. And so the people who give us higher purchases, where we mortgage a car or we mortgage a home, by the time we are finished paying for it, we have paid for 2 or 3 cars or 2 or 3 homes, if we manage to even pay it off when it comes to a home. Because many people never get to actually pay off their home either, because it is just so it's compounded and it takes so many years to do that. And I want to highlight this so that it would emphasize the value of the model, the economic model that we're building. Many people know of this example here, where if someone were to offer you $10,000 every day for 30 days, or offer you 1 cent on day one and have it compounded every day from 1 cent to 2 to 4 to 8 to 16 and so on, the average person, if you said, which would you prefer? I'll give you 1 cent on day one and we'll compound it for 30 days, or I'll give you 10,000 every day for 30 days. The average person will say, give me the $10,000 every day. But in 30 days, that person would have gained 300,000. And in 30 days, the person that started with 1 cent would have gained over $5 million. And people are blown away and say, how is that possible? But that's how compounding works. But here's what happens when people who invest in this understand this. But people who don't understand how wealth grows through compounding, here's what we do. Halfway through the 30 days, you can call it 30 weeks, you can call it 30 months. Halfway through the period, you're at $163, someone is at $150, and you feel right away, I'm wasting my time. This thing is a waste of time. By the time you get to day 20 into this, you're at 5,000, the other person is 200,000, and we are now beginning to feel away that they're really moving ahead. But time accelerates it. And so when you stay the course, as the days go by, within the next 10 days, it goes from 5,000 to 5 million. That's what compound growth is. The entire structure of the model is built on compound growth, and the income is built on compound growth. But many people, because of numerous reasons, not just not having a wealth mindset, but people not having vision, not having purpose, not clarifying the reason for why they may be doing things, etc., may not stay the course. But when we do, there's nothing that I am aware of that the average person can own a business and have a good chance and a fair chance of building financial security in a sustainable way better than this type of business, of which Superpatch is, I believe, is the best that's available right now on the planet. So the matrix of compound growth with the Superpatch model, Superpatch has 10 levels of advancement that takes us from associate, which is the entry point, all the way up to the global president. And just being 3 years, no one has reached the global presidential level yet, but we have from the presidential level all the way back down. In this model, you can say managing director, which is just around the mark where you start to receive more of a full-time income. Consider this the bridge where you cross over to where your income now starts getting into that compound growth, to where what you earn is far greater than the efforts that you're now putting out into it. So the goal is, when we cross this bridge, we are now getting into accelerated and exponential growth on this side. Most people will start out this part-time, but the entire matrix is built on this. We call it our 3X module. Everything is built on that. And this module in itself is complete. And so the mindset is, each person invest in just 3 other persons and help them to do the same. You build out your module and help to support them, ensure they have the tools and the wherewithal to be able to build out their own module. It's a very simple system. Most people start part-time, and part-time is from associate to director. We'll take you to the bridge. Once you get to the bridge, crossing that bridge to the other side, it's not difficult, but working from associate to director gives you the experience and the wherewithal to know how to cross the bridge. But because this is, I consider this part-time, and most people will start part-time, we'll take you from associate, senior associate, team leader, and director, just to show you what the potential is like. And so the whole example that here is predicated on the fact that you came in with a Flex 4 starter pack and you continued with that starter pack every month, whether you're using all four for you and your family or yourself, or you're sharing any out of that. Those are all individual things you can consider. But the entire model that I'm going to go through is based on the fact that you are a consumer of the product. And we were just talking in this example is that you're only consuming. And so in order to earn income, the Flex4 SmartShip is a monthly requirement of the economic model. This is not just an investment in your business. This becomes the backbone and the asset that you invest in to keep your business running, which is a very small investment for a multi-million-dollar business. Now, as you get started as an associate, this is the very beginning. You are qualified to earn income on one level. You currently have no levels, so you have to create that. That is created by filling your module. By filling your module, so let's call this, you enter the business, and in your first month, you're going to advance to a senior associate, which is simply you have filled your module, you have invested in three others, and you're going to make sure that they're equipped to be able to do the same. So as a senior associate, this creates your first level. And as a senior associate, you're now qualified to earn on two levels, but you only have one. So in your second month, you're going to help those three people that you did make sure that they know the tools that they have and that they also become senior associates. So in this hypothetical, in your second month, you become team leader by your first level becoming senior associates by filling their own modules. As a team leader, you've created your second level, but you're now qualified to earn on three. And so second level associates, they will now become senior associates. First level will become team leaders, and you will become now a director. And that's just, and so in your third month, you have now moved up to the director level. As a director, you earn on four levels. So to complete your module, your third level associates, when they have filled their module, your director module is completed. So let's say that was not 4, but let's say it was 6 months that it happened. But this is what could possibly happen on a part-time income, where you could have a decent part-time income as this, with it working. We have not tapped into our online platforms. We have not tapped into building a customer base. We have not tapped into other sources of income. This is just people using. This is just personal use that we're talking about, and you can see what the potential is for that to happen. So this is the potential that the model has. Now, once you get to director, and it becomes easier to get into managing director, where you begin to cross the bridge to the other side, where income begins to accelerate and evolves into more exponential growth. This is the concept and the idea and the potential that the business has for us. There is a way, that's one aspect. There's another way of how we can fast track this, and this is more for the investment-minded entrepreneur who is looking to move fast, build quickly, and use some of the resources that's available for those who want to build fast. Superpatch have a 60-day plan for those who are investment-minded, and it's a way of how you will recover your investment in a relatively short period of time. In fact, you will double or triple your investment within this 60-day period with the model that we're going to give, with what we're going to show you in the example we're going to show you. And so the investment-minded entrepreneur, this 60-day plan on this fast track, you have access to higher profit margins. You are more inventory ready for immediate distribution. This helps to build momentum. It gives leadership positioning, and it makes you eligible for higher bonuses and rank advancement when you go this way. This is for those who are have the capacity to be able to do this. People who may own businesses, people who may be practitioners, people who may be pastors of a church, people who have access, who may be coaches, counselors, people who have access to a base of people that they know they could actually turn things a lot faster. I am going to pass it over to my upline leader, Harold Aline, who is the CEO of Caribbean Stockbrokers Limited, and he's living the world of money, and so he's very equipped and very apt to be able to take us from this point onwards, to give us this example and bring us down to our conclusion. Harold, are you on?
Yes, I'm on. Thank you, David, and thank you all for attending. As David said, there is another track to run on. So what we introduced there was what I call the use approach. And it is where you're compounding use. But let's look at an approach for the persons who are interested in building big and building fast. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay. When you join Superpatch and you decide to do the business fully, there are a number of launch kits that are available. And those launch kits give you the opportunity to share in the Fast Start bonuses that Superpatch gives to you over your first 60 days of enrollment. So you have the Momentum Kit, you have the Omni Kit, the Omega Kit, the Panam Kit. And I won't go into those tonight. The one I want to go into is the Flex Forte, because I want to show an example of how this Fast Start bonus track can not only give you the best positioning for doing the business, but also to recoup your initial investment and have funds to take you through the first 6 to 8 months of your business. Let's go to the next slide. So, Fast Start bonuses are the hat-trick bonus, which you gain in your first 30 days of operation. And how that happens is once you enroll 3 new associates with the Flex Forte or any qualified kit in your first 30 days, you'll receive an additional $200. If you help those 3 persons to do the same within your next 30 days, so that's over your 60-day period, the company will pay you $400 as an all-star bonus. You also have what is called a driver bonus, and that isn't subject to the 60-day term. It goes every calendar month that you bring 3 persons in with one of those qualifying kits, you earn $200. So for example, if you were to bring in 6 persons, if you introduced them and they've started their businesses, you would get 2 plus 200 by 2. And if you brought in 9, 200 by 3, and so on. Let's go to the next slide. So, what happens in terms of building a team? I said, when you first come in, let's say you introduce those first 3 people, you're paid an enroller bonus for all the persons that you personally sponsor. And that is, you get 6% if you're a senior associate or below. You get 11% if you're a team leader and above. You're also paid a level 2 enroller bonus for those persons that your enrollees have introduced, and that is 6%. So just to recap, you bring your person in, that person is you're paid an enroller bonus of 6 to 11, depending on your rank. The persons that they bring in, you're paid a 6% bonus, enroller bonus on those. Now let's look at an example of how this will work. Okay. In your first 30 days, you purchase the Flex Forte kit for $12.99, and your qualifying bonus volume, or your qualifying volume, is $12.99, and that is significant because usually when you look at, you see that next column, bonus volume, usually that is based on 60% of your qualifying volume or the price you've paid for the kit. With the Flex Forte, it is dollar for dollar. So in other words, your bonus volume, the volume that you're going to be paid on, is the same as what you paid for the kit. And this is significant because when you help 3 persons to do exactly what you did, that is, to start their businesses fast by buying into that Flex Forte kit, it means that you have a purchase value of $3,897 on your first level. And what happens there? And this is where it's important. That column bonus volume is $3,897, dollar for dollar. If that was one of the other kits, it would be, that bonus volume would just be 60% of what you would have, what the persons would have paid for the purchase. So how are you paid? Based on what we just said. So you have bought your kit. You have 3 persons who have in fact done the same. So these are the payouts that would happen. Your enroller bonus would be 11% of that 3,897, which is 428.67. Your level bonus, that is the bonus that you're paid for all persons that are on your first level, would be 4%. That's 155.88. Because you introduced, and I'm going to skip, because you introduced 3 persons in the same calendar month, you'll be paying a driver bonus of $200. That's the driver bonus. Because you have introduced 3 persons in your first 30 days, you'll be paid $200 hat trick bonus. Because your volume, because the volume to achieve senior associate is 540, you have 3,897, so you have achieved that. You have also achieved the volume for a team leader, which is 3,000 bonus qualifying points. So you would be paid $100 rank advance for achieving the rank of team leader. Your total earnings on that first level for that first 30 days is $1,084.55. Also, if there was spillover in your level 2, that is, because you had achieved the rank of team leader, you are now paid on 2 levels, right? 3 levels, sorry. You're paid on 3 levels. So as senior associate, if you had persons on that second level, you would have been paid 6 and 4% enroller bonus for persons who your first 3 would have introduced, and 4% level bonus. Because you have gone as far as team leader, where you're paid on 3 levels, you would have been paid a level bonus of 4% on those persons who are on your level 3. So if we look at the purchases in that first 30 days was 5,196. The qualifying volume, that is the volume that determines how you rank, was 5,196. And your bonus volume, and that would be the volume excluding yours, is what you would have been paid those commissions on, right? And at the bottom, we see the total earnings for that month, right? You see also your rank would have been senior associate and also team leader, because in the first in the first purchase you would have started the process of becoming senior associate, and by the time you had three who had come in with that Flex Forte, you would in fact have achieved the team leader, which would have given you that rank advance bonus of $100. Let's scroll down a bit. Right. So we're looking now at your second 30 days. Now in your second 30 days, and this is why you see it headed as Flex Forte Fast Start Strategy with Flex 4 Smart Start, Smart Ship. And the reason for that is this. In your second 30 days, you just purchase a Flex 4 kit. That 180 you're seeing there represents your purchase volume. You would have paid $135 plus shipping, but the sales price would have been 180. I use that so that you could identify what the qualifying volume would be, which is 180. Right? On that second, on your first level now, those persons who came in with the Flex 40s, in that month, they would just be buying their smart ships of Flex 4s, that Flex 4. This is to keep them qualified, and it also enhances and it also supplements that 40, the 40 patches that they would have purchased with that Flex 40. And let me explain what I'm saying. If you use 4 packs a month and you use the Flex 4 to replace, right, that is to replenish those, that is what that does. If you, in fact, do sales of your own and you sell from those 40 packs of patches, that Flex 40 in month 2 is going to replenish that. So what happens to your level 1? Your 3 enrollees would in fact have done just like you, and they would have bought it. If they would have bought the Flex 4 packs, the total value would be 540. The qualifying volume would be 540. But the bonus volume is 324. And here you see a difference. Because the Flex 40 kit was dollar for dollar, but the Flex 4 in terms of bonus volume is 60%. So the value is 324, and your enroller bonus, because your enroller bonus is not a one-off bonus, is $35.64. And you see, remember what David was speaking about with respect to how compounding looks almost like nothing at the beginning? The level bonus on that level 1 is 4% of 324, which is 1296. But then let's look at what happens on your second level. Because you are 3 personally enrolled, have in fact, with your help, assisted 9 persons to get involved on your second level. The value of the purchases is $11,691, which means that the qualifying volume, because it's dollar for dollar, is $11,691. The bonus volume, dollar for dollar, is $11,691. So the enroller 2 bonus, remember that 6%, is what you would be paid on that $11,691, which is $701.46. The level bonus on those 9 would be 4% of that $11,691. You then, because you have done this in your 60 days, get $400 All-Star bonus. And you have rank advance because the volume required for advancing to director is 11,000 and your volume is 11,691. You also have created 3 team leaders in your enrollee 2 persons. You see how it's compounding and how it's locked together. And for that, you would have achieved the rank of director and you would have been paid $150 in rank advance. That is a total of 11,6910, right? So if we look at your 60-day progress, what happens is that in the first month, you would have done just about 1,000. And in the second, you would have done just about 1,100. And what that means is that your total over the 60 days would have been just over $2,000, which would have paid for the $1,299 that you've put out. And it gives you the ability to pay that $180, which is $135 really, for the next 6 to 8 months. Bearing in mind, and why I like this model, bearing in mind that there's no shelf life with respect to these patches. So even if what you did was to take 6 to 9 months to sell, if you were selling the first 40 packs of patches you would have purchased, it is well worth the effort. And in fact, you would have made that and recoup that investment in those 60 days, right? I just thought I should have shared a picture of a worked example of what you could do following the fast track strategy. And this would work with any of the other kits. The reason why I like the Flex Forte is because of that dollar for dollar with respect to purchases and bonus volumes in terms of how you're paid. It also gives you the flexibility of customizing your shop, what I call your shop, in that you can determine which patches make up that 40 as against all the other packs, which are in fact standardized by the company, right? So, right, I hope that gives that example. And finally, just to recap, the compensation plan at a glance shows 1, that you're paid retail of 25%. You're paid on levels 1 as an associate, 1 and 2 as a senior associate, 1, 2, and 3 as a director. And it goes deeper. 1, 2, and 3 as a team leader, and 1, 2, 3, and 4 as a director. And it goes deeper. And as David said, when you get to that managing director place, not only are you paid 5 levels deep, you're also paid 2% all the way down. The other part of the enroller bonus is this. Apart from it being paid monthly, you never lose people, which again is part and parcel of how the company locks the relationship marketing and the relationship and the ecosystem that David spoke of. Because if you were to enroll someone and you place them 10 levels beneath you, you would still earn enroller bonuses on them, and you will still earn enroller 2 bonuses on the persons that they introduce. What that does is that it builds community. So for example, how we engage it is we say, okay, you start by building 2 legs. So when you bring your 3 persons in, you have 1, 2, and you swing the third one on the 1 or 2. What that does is that it assists 1 or 2 in building their legs, because you've started one leg for them. And because enrolling is not, you don't lose enrollees, that cements that practice, right? So, right, we can always get deeper into that, but now let's look at how you register your business. The person who invited you and who, in fact, will be your sponsor would send you their URL link. And that URL link is where you would, in fact, register for your business. You have to decide on the package that you are going to enroll with, right? Once you're doing the Fast Start approach. And that would be one of the 4 that we highlighted. You need to create a website name for your back office. So what would happen is that your name, it would be your, whatever name you choose, .superpatch at superpatch.com, right? .superpatch.com. There is also a practitioners program for registered professional practices. So persons who are naturopaths, persons who are coaches, persons who are in any other type of health and wellness endeavor can, in fact, join the practitioners program at no cost to themselves. However, the practitioners program does not participate in the compensation plan. So what most practitioners do is that they sign first as associates, and then they sign their businesses under them. Bearing in mind that although the practitioner site does not participate in the compensation plan, the volume that is attracted there is part of your qualifying volume. Right? For persons in the Caribbean territories, you need a US address, and for that, we use Skybox providers. Your commissions, right, are paid through HyperWallet services, and you access those through either a physical or virtual Visa debit card. Just note that, while you're waiting, because your earnings have to get to $40 before you are issued that HyperWallet and the cards, but you don't lose anything. It's in the bank and it's accumulated for you. And once it crosses that $40 thing, you get notification that your HyperWallet has been set up, and you have to go in now and activate. So with that, I would like to say thank you with respect to how you do the business and how you can enter the business, either as through the Flex 4 or the Flex 40 approach.
Right, just as you were speaking, Harold, another thing came to mind. One of the other dynamics that is built into the plan, besides that being able to place the people, is when everyone is on SmartShip, which qualifies us to keep our earnings, that every month that you and 3 personally enrolled people are on it, you get 2 free packs of patches
Yes.
every month.
Every month,
And so every month, besides that $135 that you may be spending to get your 4 for the price of 3, every month that you and your 3 people are doing that, you're getting 2 free packs of product every month. That's just another one of the many dynamics that's built into the plan, all of which we couldn't really get into this evening. But you have a very solid, structured business that has the potential to be able to not just build our own personal well-being, but help to be able for those who are in great need out there. So the Applying Leadership, our contacts are on the side in case you want to reach out to any of us, even the associates that might be new. If for some reason you're not able to reach your direct upline, we're always available to help to support in any way that we can. And so with that, we just want to say thank you for your attention and your time. Any questions that you might have that you might want to put into the chat, or if you want to unmute your mic and ask, or if you prefer to be private with your applying person, you can do that. I know we have we have adjusted our presentation this evening, and so we went over the time that we normally do. So I would understand if you wanted to be able to move on. Let me just
see if anybody.
Anyone that may have any questions at this time? Okay, so if there are no questions, get back to the person who would have shared and invited you on. They'll be able to help you to proceed and move forward in how you get enrolled and how you get started. They'll be able to point you in the directions of the tools and the resources you need to be able to tap into as early as possible. Your very first thing is always use technology so that you can become a believer in what you're representing.
Question.
Yes.
I see you have to have some Skybox for your wallet. Now, I'm in Canada right now, so how does that work for me?
That's just only for people in the Caribbean.
In the Caribbean, yeah.
Okay, so if I come back to the Caribbean, do I need to have a Skybox?
If you were living there, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had to be flexible with that.
We'll work that out.
It's a very simple thing to do. Very simple.
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. All right, so with that, I'm going to just say good evening to everyone and say thank you for taking your time. Please reach out to us if you need the support and you need the help in any way. So have a great week, everybody. God bless all of you.